an extra beneficial time to be on our mat, warming our bodies from the inside out, warming our hearts, our minds, our souls. Start to find a comfortable seat wherever you are, on a block, on a blanket, sitting cross-legged, or however's comfortable for you. Right? Settling in, focusing inward. Feeling your sit bones rooting down wherever you're sitting, right? Like roots of a tree, really grounding us down so that we can grow in every direction. Set up a nice tall spine, gently engaging your core, your front body, feeling as strong in the front as you do in the back, right? Finding some balance. Stack your shoulders on top of your hips, your head right on top of your shoulders. Think about bringing your chin parallel to the mat, right? And just sitting back a little bit on your sit bones. We tend to tip forward a little bit. Sit back a little bit so you really feel like your torso is perpendicular to the earth. Shrug your shoulders up by your ears, roll them back, already starting to open up your heart as we begin the practice. Feel your collarbone spread side to side, like the balls of your shoulders kind of pulling to the outside, left and right. Let's take 3 clearing breaths to get ourselves ready. So inhale deeply through your nose, really feel your body filling up with air. And then exhale, let it go. 2 more times like that, feeling your rib cage expand, feeling your chest expand as you breathe in and fill up. Exhale, let it go. 1 more time, breathe it in. Exhale, let it go. Beautiful. Let's open together with 3 ohms. Breathing in, filling up again, all together. Sitting with that vibration as your body starts to awaken. Begin to engage that Ujjayi breath at the back of your throat. And it's not forceful exhale through your nose. That's where the oxygen leaves your body, but just keeping your lips gently shut and letting your breath flow all the way into your body. Keeping your eyes gently closed, let's just take a few rounds of like a ladder breath. So breathing up your spine from all the way from your belly to the top of your head, holding it, and then really feeling it let go as you drop your breath from your head all the way back down to your belly. So we'll do it on a count of 6. Take it, let's start, kind of just start all emptied out. So breathe in, fill up real quick, and then let it go. From this emptiness, start to engage your core as you fill your belly, breathing in. Feel the breath move all the way up your spine to your third eye, to the crown of your head. Hold it at the top for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And on the same count, let it go all the way from the top, all the way back down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pausing at the bottom. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start to fill up from the bottom to the top, all the way up your spine. Feel your heart expand as you breathe it in, filling up. Hold your breath at the top for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then gently let it all sink back out of your body. Last round on your own count after you hold it at the bottom. Breathing in, feeling the breath start to energize your body all the way to the crown of your head. Holding at the top. And then exhale, let it go all the way back down to your foundation. Good. 2 more times. Just shrug your shoulders up by your ears, roll them back. Really start to bring some movement to the body, movement to your shoulders. And I invite you to keep your eyes closed for these first few stretches, just to keep yourself tuned inward. Really feel the stretch from the inside out. So as you inhale, just reach your arms out and out. Take a nice big stretch. Tip your head up toward the sky. You can interlace your fingers, bring them to prayer. Do what feels good here. But just notice the sensation of grounding down to lift up. Pull your shoulders away from your ears, even as your heart lifts up toward the sky. Gaze can move up behind your eyelids. And then as you exhale, release your hands behind your down to your sides. Good. Inhale again, reach it up to the sky. This time, interlace your fingers, press your palms up toward the sky, and then just gently sway side to side, taking your hands to the left and then the right, keeping them interlaced, really pressing through whatever hand is on top during the stretch, trying to turn your palms toward the sky. Good, one more time to each side, just back and forth like a pendulum. Taking it over to the other side. Good, and reach your hands up toward the sky. Let your left hand come down next to your left hip. Take your right hand to the left ear, the left side of the head, and just gently take a neck stretch here, pulling your head gently toward the side, ear towards your shoulder. Good, keep your head facing forward for right now. Take a deep breath. And then gently tip your chin in toward your armpit, toward your shoulder, changing the angle of the stretch. Keeping the left fingertips pulling down, finding that length in the side of the neck. Inhale, come back to center, release that side. Right hand comes down, left arm reaches up toward the sky, find length, and then take the right ear with the left hand. Just gently pull, every breath taking a little bit deeper. Good. Hopefully feeling the breath starting to warm up the body already. And then tip your chin and change the angle of the stretch. One more breath here. Next inhale, release both arms up to the sky. Interlace your fingers. Press your palms up. And then as you exhale, just tuck your chin in. Start to press your palms forward. Don't let them drop all the way down. Just press them forward as you round through your spine. Feel your hips weighting you back as you press forward with your palms. Good. You can, again, rock side to side here a little bit. Finding some stretch in the deep parts of your shoulder. Rocking side to side or keep the press forward. One more breath here. Last time, inhale, stretch it all the way back up. Release your palms to the mat. Roll over your knees. You can start a playlist if you have one. And we'll meet on the mat in a tabletop position. Taking our first few breaths here to just move, right? Maybe your eyes are still closed. Maybe they've blinked open. Just breathe, right? Keep the focus inward. Everything you need is right within you. Whether it's for your breath, your body, your mind, your soul. Good, make some circles here with your hips. And we'll meet back in tabletop position here. Spread your fingers nice and wide, wrists right under your shoulders here. Get the sensation of your palms pulling back toward your knees as you pull your heart forward, arch your spine, gaze up, spread your sit bones, and then exhale, press into the mat, tuck your tail, tuck your chin, round it in. Really feel your belly pulling up toward the spine. Inhale, arch it, just warming up here. Exhale, round. One more time. Inhale, arch it up. Pull your collarbone nice and wide as your heart pulls forward. Exhale, press into the mat, tuck your chin, round it out. And then just press back into a child's pose here. Big toes are touching, knees are apart. Your arms are still really active. So you're pressing the mat away. Your elbows are lifting up off the mat. Let your forehead come to the mat, your third eye is pressing down. Good, you can even come up on your fingertips here, lifting those arms away from the mat. Beautiful, then let your elbows come down to the mat, join your hands in prayer and take that prayer overhead. Your thumbs are into the back of your head here. And just press the elbows down, pretend you're dragging them back towards you. Opening up the triceps here. Inhale here. Exhale. Next inhale, release your forearms to the mat. Roll forward onto your belly here. Just come into a Sphinx pose for a moment. Setting up your elbows right under your shoulders. Feel your hip bones and your pubic bone pressing into the mat. Tops of your feet are pressing into the mat actively. And then just pull your heart forward. Right, these nice, slow, isolated movements are, can be really hard. So just hold it, keep pulling in, right? Your elbows are tractioning back, your heart is pulling forward. Gaze can move forward and then up a little bit. From here, just take a glance over your right shoulder. Come back to center and take a glance over your left shoulder. Good. One more time to each side, just finding some rotation in the neck. Feeling your hips grounding down, not moving. Good. Come back to center. Place your hands outside the mat. Bring your fingertips to tent here. And then just inhale, pull your heart up. You can come as high as you're ready for. And then roll it back down. Move your spine like a wave here, just opening up the heart, pressing into the fingertips, rolling the shoulders back, letting your chin lift last. And then exhale, tuck it back down as you roll back down to the mat. One more time here, just roll it up. Exhale, fall back to the mat. Hands come to either side of your rib cage, tuck your toes under, press your seat back to your heels, and let's move back to our first downward facing dog. Good, pedaling it out here. Bending one knee and then the other. Letting your head feel nice and heavy, right? No tension in the neck. Palms are pressing strongly into the mat as you lift your armpits up and away. Good. Take a gentle bend in your knees. Feel your sit bones separate and lift toward the sky. And then exhale, let your heels fall to the mat. Come high on your toes in your downward facing dog. And just let your heels fall to the right. Really press through the left palm here. Find a nice stretch all the way down the left side of your body. One more breath here. Keep sending those hips back. Inhale, come back through center, high on the toes. Heels fall to the left. Find that stretch through the right side body, all the way from the palm through your hips and then down your leg. One more breath here. Send the hips back. Inhale, come back high on your toes. Pull your navel in towards your spine and gently walk your way to the top of the mat. Arriving there with your feet hips width distance apart. And then just hanging heavy, letting your neck release. Crown of your head is pulling down. You can grab opposite elbows here and sway side to side. You can crisscross your arms behind your calves and pull yourself down a little deeper if you're ready. Good. Thinking about pulling your hips, like even pulling the weight a little more into your toes here so that your hips stack right on top of your ankles. Beautiful. One more breath here. Inhale and exhale. Good. Toe heel your toes and heels to touch at the top of the mat. Stay folded here. Bring your fingers out in front of you. Again, you can tent your fingers if you want. And just come high up on your toes here. Feel your sit bones moving back. Your hips are pressing back as you try to peel your heart forward. Good. Come high on those toes. Hold it here. Squeeze into the midline. And then exhale. Drop your heels. Fold it down. Maybe walk your hands back a little bit more towards your feet here as you come back up on your toes, squeezing into the midline. Use your core for balance. Gaze ahead. Good. One more breath here. Exhale, drop your hips, let your head fall down. Then keeping your arms nice and heavy, gently bend into your knees, tuck your tail, roll yourself all the way up to stand. Take your arms out and up, take a nice big stretch up overhead. Feel your front body expanding, tuck your tailbone down. And as you exhale, hands come by your side. Close your eyes for just a moment here. Setting an intention for your practice, right? Warming up a little bit differently, right? Always keeping our minds and our bodies sort of alert, but knowing where we are and taking our breath to where we need it. Beautiful. At the top of your mat, toes and heels are touching, warming up with 3 sun salutation airs. You can leave your knees gently bent to find space in your hips or start to bring them nice and strong, pressing your feet down into the mat. Do what feels good to you. Just move with your breath. As you inhale, reach your arms up overhead, maybe press palms. Exhale, fold down over your legs. Let your head hang heavy. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant your palms, step or jump back, lowering down to chaturanga. Squeeze those elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, push it back, downward facing dog. Breathing in, breathing out. Maybe finding a little pedaling at the beginning and then find some stillness, right?
I mean, we're obviously breathing. We're never ever fully still, but try to find some stillness in this asana without moving your legs and just feeling your breath take you a little bit deeper each time. Inhale. Exhale. Last inhale here. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, rise up, reach up, palms press. Exhale, arms by your side. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, fold it down, keep your core engaged. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant your palms, step or jump back, lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, press it back, downward facing dog. Really letting your hips lead the way as you take yourself to downward facing dog. Good, maybe here bend your knees a little bit. Send your chest back a little bit further. Lift your armpits away from the mat. And then exhale, straighten your legs into this new space you created. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, fill up. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, rise up, reach up, palms press. Good, this time as you exhale, fold right back down. Inhale here, lengthen, look forward. Exhale, plant your palms, step or jump back, lowering down. Inhale, up dog, really pull your heart through your shoulders. Exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. Breathe. So the size of your body lengthen, right? As you send your hips up toward the sky. Really press into the palms, all four corners of your palms, and then start to rotate the eyes of your elbows forward. Finding space in your neck here, space in your shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale here. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, rise up, reach up, palms press. Take an extra breath here. Really press through your feet as you lift through your heart. Exhale, arms by your side, Tadasana. Toes and heels touching at the top of the mat. Bend your knees deeply. Rise up to Utkatasana. Pause here. Separate your arms so that they're shoulder width apart, and then start to rotate your palms toward the back of the room or the house, wherever you are. Thumbs on the outside, pinkies rotating toward the inside. Stretching your fingers toward the sky, tuck your tail, lift your heart. One more breath. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, step or jump back, lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, push it back to downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps forward, rise up to warrior one. Hold it here. Sink down into that front knee. Tuck your left tailbone down to kind of rotate your hips and lift up through the front body. Good, taking a little bit of the sway out of your lower back. Inhale here, one more breath. As you exhale, hands come down, step back, lower down to chaturanga or meet us in downward facing dog. Inhale, up dog if you're in the vinyasa. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward, rise up to warrior one. Press through the outer edge of your foot, tuck your tail down. Lift your heart, square your hips. Maybe join your hands in prayer if you're ready. One more breath here. Exhale, hands come down, step back, lowering down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Breathing in, recentering. Exhale, let it go. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, bend knees. Press your palms together, drop your hips, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold it right back down, Uttanasana, drop your head. Inhale here to lengthen. Exhale, step or jump back, lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog, pull your heart, press your feet into the mat. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps forward, rise it up to warrior one. Exhale, open it up to warrior two, pause. Tuck that tail again, really feel your right knee pressing out to the side, but without rolling to the outside of that foot. Keep the foot pressed down evenly and roll the knee, press the knee out, good. Inhale here, exhale. Start to sweep your left arm forward, pulling your hips back to the front of the room, come back to warrior one. As you exhale, press to straighten your front leg, pull your arms behind you. Interlace your fingers, open your heart as you pull your knuckles down. And then exhale, take it into humble warrior. Dropping the crown of your head toward the mat, let your head hang heavy, pulling you down as you lift your arms up toward the sky. Try to pull your right hip in toward the midline and back by pressing into your right foot. Inhale here. Exhale. Next inhale, come halfway up. I think we did this last week. Keep your legs as they are. Walk your hands out to the left corner off your mat here. So you're in warrior two legs, and you're kind of in downward facing dog, arms off to the corner, off on the diagonal here. Keep pressing your hips back as they pull down toward the mat. Press into your palms or your fingertips, keeping your arms nice and active here, finding length down your spine. One more breath. Good, as you inhale, walk your hands back onto either side of your front foot. Come up on your heel for a moment, coming into a high lunge. And then drop your left knee to the mat. Untuck your toes, sweep your arms all the way up to Anjaneyasana. Breathe here. Inhale. And exhale. Next, inhale, bring your hands back down to either side of your front foot. Straighten through that right leg. Send your hips back over your back knee, so you're not like sinking back towards your heel. Your hips are stacked right over your back knee. Take an inhale here to lengthen your heart forward. Exhale, fold down into a half split. Good, you can walk your hands out. You want a nice long spine here. Maybe windshield wiper your right foot back and forth, feeling the outside of your hip, the inside of your leg, right? Exploring all these nooks and crannies. Last inhale here. As you exhale, bend into your right knee, plant your palms, step back to plank, lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot forward, warrior one. Reach up, feel your feet pressing down to lift you up. Exhale, open it up to warrior two, pause. Pull your shoulders out away from your ears. Gazing over your strong fingertips. Tuck your tail under. One more breath here. Next inhale, start to pull your right arm forward and up, coming back to warrior one, square your hips. And then as you exhale, press into your left foot to straighten your leg, pull your hands behind you. Interlace your fingers, make space in your front body as you open your heart. Exhale, fold it into humble warrior. Good, again, pull that left hip back and in, really feel like press into your left heel. Feel how that lifts your hip up from the bottom side, right? And then pull it back into the midline. Inhale here. Exhale. Next inhale, just lift your torso halfway, release your fingers off to the left, the right corner of your mat. Good, keep pressing through those feet, reaching your fingertips forward. Feel your hips moving back and down as you stretch your spine on the diagonal. One more breath here. Inhale. Good, and then as you exhale, stay low. Come up onto the toes of your back foot, hands come to either side of your left foot. Come into a low lunge for just a breath to square your hips. And then drop your right knee to the mat, untuck your right toe, and just sweep it up in Anjaneyasana. Good, your hips are sinking here, but you're staying strong in your torso, right? So tuck your tailbone down, protect your lower back. Feel your heart lift as your hips sink, finding space in the front body. One more breath here. As you exhale, hands come to either side of that front foot. Straighten it, coming into your half split, but take a breath here to pull your hip back in space. Lengthen your heart forward, then exhale, fold it down. Good, keep pressing your left heel into the mat, pretending you're dragging it back, finding that traction. And then if you did so on the other side, start to windshield wiper your foot back and forth a few times. Maybe pausing at a really tight spot, sending the breath there. Beautiful, come back to center, bend into your left knee, plant your palms, step back, lowering down to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Reset. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe it in. Let it go. On your next inhale, step your right foot forward, rise up to warrior one. As you exhale, open it up to warrior two. Inhale, flip and reverse your warrior, find space in the side stretch. And as you exhale, keep reaching back to straighten through your front legs. You're like in a reverse triangle here. Good, think about tucking your tailbone down, staying in between those imaginary panes of glass here. So everything's stacked, one more breath. And then as you inhale, start to bring your arms parallel, maybe walk your back foot in a tiny bit. And then bring yourself into triangle pose, good. Really feeling your hips pull back. This whole right side body is nice and long here. Let your crown of your head pull you forward and then take it into triangle. Keep pressing into that front foot, pressing into that back foot, lifting your hips. Good, stacking them. And then think about tucking each respective tailbone down toward its own heel, kind of. Really pulling that front body open. Inhale here. Exhale. Next inhale, bring your left hand to your left hip, bend into your right knee, walk your fingertips forward, and bring yourself into half moon pose. Reset here, I'm gonna bang my head, good. Peeling your hips open, maybe gently bend into your right knee first as you stack, and then as you open up, press into your right foot to straighten your leg. Feel your hips turning toward the side of the room. Maybe your gaze moves up. Inhale here. Exhale. Next inhale, bring your left hand down, square your hips. Left toes are facing down. Your legs are making a right angle. Your left wrist is right under your left shoulder as you peel your right arm up. Squeezing into the midline. You should feel this in your right outer hip. Taking the half moon, rotating it. One more breath here. Good, as you exhale, bring your right hand down. Walk your hands out so that they're not too close in. You want your torso nice and parallel to the mat. Your wrists right under your shoulders here. And then as you exhale, just start to pull your knee in toward your nose. Pressing your hands to make space. Exhale, take it back out. Inhale, pull it in. Use your core to move your leg. Exhale, press it back out. Last time here. Inhale, pull it in. As you exhale, press it out, lengthen your spine forward, and then gently walk your hands back, coming into a standing split here. Maybe taking another inhale here to lengthen forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath, reach those toes a little bit higher. Use your core again to move your leg up toward the sky. And as you exhale, bend into your right leg, gently let your left foot float back into a low lunge. Plant your palms, step back, lowering down to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward. Rise it up to warrior one. Exhale, open up to warrior two, shoulders down. Then take it to reverse, right? Hold it here. Keep bending into that front knee. Tuck your tailbone down. Heart is toward the side of the room, hips are toward the side of the room, gaze is up at your fingertips and your elbow. One more breath here. Then stay reversed, just pressing your left foot to straighten it out. Reverse triangle. One more breath here, feel opening in your left side body. And then as you exhale, bring your torso back up, arms are out. Maybe walk your back foot in a tiny bit. And then pull yourself into triangle. Taking your hand down wherever it touches, you can use a block here. Think about pulling your left hip forward and your right hip back to stack on top of it. Gazing up, pressing through your feet. Don't forget to engage your legs. One more breath here. Next exhale, bring your right hand to your right hip. Walk your left fingertips out a bit and take yourself into half moon. Again, maybe bending into your left knee to begin with as you start to set the pose up. Opening your hips, stacking them. And then as you press your top leg straighten out your standing leg here. Good. It's like a flower blooming, right? You're going from like smaller and then you're opening up by straightening your legs and engaging them. Gaze is up if you have your balance. One more breath here. Good. As you exhale, right hand drops, hips square, right toes are facing down. Squeezing into the midline here, start to take your left hand up toward the sky, gazing at your thumb. Think about your right eyeball rotating all the way up to look at your thumb, right? Good. One more breath here. As you exhale, bring your left hand down to the mat. Make sure your hands are right under your shoulders here, so you're making like a little box. Good. Your right toes are pressing back. And then as you exhale, engage your core, hug your knee in towards your nose, round it out. Exhale, press it out as you gaze forward, lengthen your spine. Inhale here, tuck it in. Exhale, press it back up. Last time, bring it in. Really feel the rounding. Exhale, take it back out as you lengthen and inhale. And then you, on the exhale, start to walk your hands back towards your foot, lifting your right toes up toward the sky, coming into a standing leg split. Inhaling here. Exhale. Beautiful, guys. One more breath. Really reach those right toes up. And as you exhale, bend into your left knee, float your right foot back into a lunge. Plant your palms, step back, lower down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Next inhale, step your right foot forward, rise it up to warrior one. Exhale to warrior two. Good, inhale, flip and reverse your warrior. And as you exhale, let's just take it into an extended side angle. So any version. You can take modified, really finding space in your hip crease. You can take your right hand down to the inside or outside of your right foot. Maybe take the bind if you're ready. Inhaling here, really reaching, thinking about one nice long line from your back foot all the way through your left fingertips. One more breath here. Good, as you exhale here, we're gonna come back to this sort of warrior down dog, I guess we'll call it. Bring your fingertips out to the left on a diagonal here. One more breath here. Good, and start to walk your hands back in towards your foot as you lift your left heel, your left toes up off the mat, coming on your left heel, coming into Skandasana. Right, your hips are dropping. Try to first this time bring a nice tall spine. You can use your right elbow to open up your right leg a little bit more. Really press into that left heel. Good, one more breath. Good, then try without hands to put the weight into your feet. Take it to the back of your mat here. Beautiful. One more breath. Open up. Please see if you can sit up this time. Beautiful. Then weight into your feet. Try to bring it back to the front of the mat. Crawl your hands to either side of your front foot. Step back to lower down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot forward, warrior one. Exhale, open it up to warrior two. Inhale, flip and reverse your warrior. And as you exhale, take it into extended side angle, your version. Right, and maybe every breath takes you a little bit further, a little bit to a new spot, right? Maybe starting in modified and then a few breaths in, taking it a little deeper. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath. As you exhale, just turn your torso down, crawl those fingertips out toward the corner, drop your head for a moment. Inhale here. And then start to lift your right toes up off the mat. Coming into sky. Actually, let's try this time. Try to leave your foot planted down. Find a different stretch in your leg here. You might not sink as deep in your hips. You can keep your fingers walking out if that feels good. Keep your pressing into that foot if it's okay with your ankle. One more breath here. Good, then either crawl or bounce to the back of your mat, taking it to the other side. Press the left foot into the mat. Feel the difference of when you have your heel up, where that stretches, and when you're pressing the sole of your foot down, where that stretches in your leg. different spots to open and breathe into. One more breath here. Good, bring it back to the top of the mat, hands to either side of your left foot, step back, lowering down to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, bend your knees deeply, right up to Utkatasana. And then as you exhale, hands to heart center. Start to bend into your knees, heels pop up off the mat. Come to sit on your heels in a squat. Nice tall spine, squeeze your palms and your inner legs into the midline here. Shoulders back, heart open. One more breath. Good, as you exhale, just drop your hips to the mat. Let's take it up into a quick round of Navasana, right? Wouldn't be class without it. Knees are bent, knees are straight, it doesn't matter. You want your core engaged and your heart open. Breathe in here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it down to a low boat. Hover your heels. Shoulder blades are just resting on the mat. Chin is tucked. Gaze at your toes for 3, 2, 1. Pop it back up here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it back down. Last time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Pop it back up. You can either roll back and forth to get some momentum or place your feet into the mat and bring it back to Utkatasana at the top of your mat. Inhale here. And as you exhale, fold down over straight legs. Inhale here to lengthen. Exhale, step or jump back, lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. Next, inhale, reach your right leg all the way up toward the sky, three-legged dog. As you inhale, tap your right knee towards your right upper arm or elbow as you come forward to plank. Inhale, take it back up, three-legged dog. Inhale, pull it into center, hold. Press it back to three-legged dog. This time, tap your right knee towards your left arm, straighten your leg out to the side, roll it open into fallen triangle. Good, press into your feet, lift your hips. One more breath here. As you exhale, bring your left hand down, sweep your right leg up toward the sky. And then start to bring your right knee behind your right wrist, coming into a pigeon pose. Right foot near shin is parallel as is comfortable for you. Don't want to hurt your knee here. Or you can bring your heel back more towards your pubic bone. You just want to make sure that your torso is centered over your shin. It will be folger over your shin and not over your knee. Good. I want you to press into wherever you're touching the mat to lift your torso. Lift it up. You can even lift your arms. So a nice long stretch in your front body here. And then as you exhale, let your hips sink down. Start to bring yourself forward, folding into pigeon pose wherever it's comfortable. Good. Really sink down. Feel your right hip pulling back and in, right? Feeling the opening in that outer right hip. And then take a focus to your left foot where it's touching the mat. Imagine if it's rolling in or rolling out, and try to bring it back to center, right? And keeping it active. It's easy to kind of let it flop out to one side wherever you tend to go. Try to keep it active. One more breath here. Next inhale, come back up, bring your torso back up. If you need to adjust your leg, you can do so. And then you're gonna bend your back leg here. Reach back with your left arm. Try to grab that leg, the foot or the ankle. Good, and first I want you to kick your leg back to open up your shoulder, right? Feel a stretch in your left front hip as you open your left shoulder. And then as you exhale, start to square your hips and shoulders back toward the front of the room as you pull your heel in towards your hip. Good, you keep pressing down to lift your torso up off the mat, finding a little extra opening. One more breath. As you exhale, bring your hands back down to the top of the mat. Tuck your left toes, sweep your right leg up toward the sky. Good, and this time as you exhale, step your right foot in between your hands, drop your left knee to the mat. And either take it back to your half split or take it all the way down into your full split if you're working on full split. Hips are squared no matter where you are. Heart is open as you pull yourself forward, and then exhale, fold it down. Breathing in, breathing out. Good, 2 more breaths like this. Keep pulling that right hip back, squaring your torso forward. Inhale, and exhale. Half splitters, bend back into your right knee and step it back to downward facing dog. Full splitters, try to sweep your leg all the way back up toward the sky. And we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Left foot reaches for the sky for everyone. As you exhale, come forward to plank, left knee to left upper arm or elbow, 3-legged dog. Inhale, pull it into center, knee toward your nose, press into your hands. Exhale, 3-legged dog. Inhale, cross it over, left knee to right, elbow or upper arm. Send your leg out to the side as you peel your hips up toward the sky, coming into that fallen triangle. Then a nice opening in the front body. Really let your head drop, pull you back. 1 more breath. Right hand comes down, left leg sweeps all the way up. And as you exhale, start to make your way towards your pigeon pose, right? First getting it set up, nice and strong. Good foundation here. Good, take a moment here to press your right leg and your left shin into the mat as you lift your torso up, finding space in your front body. Maybe lift your arms up, pressing down to lift up here, right? Always in opposition. And then exhale as your hips sink back down, fold it into your version of pigeon pose. Right, it's super easy. Try bringing your shin more parallel to the top of the mat. Let your torso hang heavy. Good. Breathing in, breathing out. 1 more breath. Good. Inhale, walk your torso back up. Maybe adjust your front leg if you need to. Again, press into your legs to lift yourself up a bit as you reach back with your right arm for your right foot. First, kick your right foot back, feeling your chest opening, your shoulder opening, kicking it back and away from you. And then exhale, start to pull that heel in towards your seat. Maybe pulling your fingers over the tops of your toes, squaring forward. 1 more breath. As you exhale, release your leg, plant your palms, sweep your left leg all the way back up to 3-legged dog. And as you exhale, step your foot in between your hands, dropping your right knee to the mat. Straightening that leg into your half split. We're working on your full split. Good. Again, this time pull your left hip back and in, squaring your hips as you pull your heart forward. And then exhale, fold down over your front leg. Inhaling and exhaling. Take your focus to your back leg. Make sure, even if it's bent, that your foot is pressing evenly into the mat, the top of your foot. Inhale. Exhale. Good, half split, bend into your left knee, step it back to downward facing dog. Full split, try to sweep that left leg all the way back up. And as you exhale, foot comes down, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Inhale here. And as you exhale, just bring your knees down to the mat. Untuck your toes for a moment. Let's just sit and regroup here as we start to slow class down. Good, you can rock side to side. It can sometimes feel good on your, like the front of your ankles. If your ankles are tight, just swaying side to side, rolling over your shins. Beautiful. Then come to stand on your knees. We're just going to do 2 camel poses. So make sure that your knees are right under your hips here. Get the sensation like that you're kind of pulling into the midline, maybe you're squeezing an imaginary block so that your legs activate and they're not like sort of splaying out. It helps to engage your hips here. Take your hands to your waist, press your waist down, and you pull your shoulders down, lift your heart, and maybe this is enough here. This is a heart opener, right? Not as much a back bend. Think about it as a heart opener. And then maybe start to walk your hands back toward your feet. Your toes can be tucked if you're not quite as open. Keep pulling your hips forward as you pull your heart up. Like a string is pulling your heart toward the sky. Maybe drop your head. Inhale here, keep pressing your hips forward. And then exhale, just untuck your toes if they're tucked, come into a child's pose for a breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Good, come back to stand on your knees. Maybe this time try flat feet if you did tuck feet before. Do what feels good to you. Take your hands to your waist. Engage your legs, squeeze that imaginary block. Lift your heart up toward the sky and either stay here or start to walk your hands back towards your heels. You can even start to walk them toward like your calves or your knee creases here. Think about keeping your quads perpendicular to the ground. As you lift your heart, open your collarbone, gazes up and back. One more breath. As you exhale, take it down to child's pose. Breathing here. Inhaling and exhaling. Good, you know where we're headed next, since we're already down here. We're gonna take ourselves into frog pose. So if your knees are sensitive, you can stay on the mat. I like to sometimes have my knees like somewhere where I have a little more ability to slide them, but it's up to you wherever you're comfortable. You just wanna check and make sure you're making all right angles with your legs. So your knees are coming right out from your hips to the side. Ankles right under your knees, and then flex your feet. Good, take a few moments here, just rock back and forth. You can be propped up on your hands, you can be propped up on your forearms, you can bring it all the way down. Good, and then come back to center here, stop rocking for a second. You're probably having an arched spine right now. What I want you to do for just a moment is think about tucking your tailbone down and then dragging your knees toward the midline, pressing into those inner knee bones and pulling them in. Good, taking the arch out of your spine a little bit, finding some more opening in your inner hip crease there. Holding it here, really engaged, keep pulling in, but like imaginarily pulling your knees into the midline. Good, and then as you release this, try not to bring the sway back to your lower back. Try to have like a longer, less arched lower back as maybe you pull a little bit deeper down into your frog. And breathe here. We're all in this one together. Good. Inhaling, exhaling. 2 more breaths here. Engage your core, it's hard here. Pull your navel up toward your spine, up toward the ceiling. Exhale. Good, next inhale, start to walk your hands back to your torso. Make your way out of frog. Bring your soles of your feet together on the mat here. Good, coming into Baddha Konasana. You should feel nice and open in your inner thighs now. Kind of shimmy your sit bones in towards your heels as much as you can while keeping a nice straight spine. Inhale here to lift your heart, and then exhale, start to fold it down, pulling the crown of your head forward here. Good, maybe using your elbows to open your legs a little bit more and then let your head drop. Right, so we're not really like a rounded spine, we have a nice long spine, and then just let your head relax. Think about your vertebrae staying nice and straight. Inhaling here and exhaling. 1 more breath. Inhale, come all the way back up. Open your legs out to the side. Bring your hands behind you. Good, again, nice tall spine here. It sometimes can feel good and you have a little more space to move if you tip a little bit forward on your sit bones. Good, almost feeling like the inseam of your pants is going a little bit closer down to the floor as you lift your heart. And then exhale, bring your hands out in front of you, keeping your legs nice and active. Start to walk yourself down, coming to forearms, staying up on your palms. Good, get the sensation of your hips staying back as you pull your torso forward. Right now, your legs are your whole foundation here. So keep them strong and sort of steady as you pull your torso away. Inhaling here and exhaling. Walk your torso back up. Let's take this nice big side stretch, bringing your left forearm down inside your left leg, palm toward the sky. Take a moment here to really ground down through the right sit bone as you reach up through those right fingertips. And then take a nice side bend here, reaching for your toes, keeping that right sit bone grounded. Good, maybe gazing up toward the sky above your elbow. 1 more breath here. And then as you exhale, just stay low, switch the stretch, take your torso straight down over your left leg. Point your right toes away from you as you pull your torso to the left. 1 more breath. Good, inhale, come back up through center. Right arm to the inside, palm faces up. Take a moment here to extend through the left side body, reaching up as you ground down, and then taking this nice big side stretch, keeping your heart open toward the side of the room, or maybe even up toward the sky. Good. Maybe catching your toes, maybe not. Keeping that left sit bone grounded. Inhale here. And as you exhale, stay low. Just turn your torso down over your right leg. Point your left toes, pull them away as you pull your torso toward the right. Inhaling here and exhaling. Come back to center. Just for symmetry, let's just walk it out one more time toward the center. Breathing in and breathing out. Good, let's walk it back up. Take your hands behind your thighs, bring your legs back together. Lengthen them down your mat here. Good, grind your sit bones, reach your arms up toward the sky. And with a nice long spine, start to fold forward, finding length here. Again, when you get there, take an inhale here to pull your heart forward a little bit more. And then exhale, fold it down as you release your neck. Hold it here for 3 nice, yummy breaths. Keeping your legs active, pulling your hips back as the crown of your head pulls forward. Inhaling and exhaling. Good, and staying low, let your fingertips come to the mat. Start to drag yourself, roll yourself slowly all the way down onto your back, tucking your chin. Feeling your tailbone tuck down toward your heels as you roll through each vertebra all the way down to the mat. Coming into an inversion of your choice. It's always nice, important actually at the end of the practice to get your feet above your heart. So you can work on headstand. If you're doing you can do forearm stand, handstand, or shoulder stand is a great option. Or waterfall, right? Do what feels good to you. Again, where your legs are up above you, keep them engaged and pulling into the midline wherever you are. You can point your toes, flex your toes, do what feels good. Take 3 more breaths here. Like a good way to seal in all this energy. Inhaling and exhaling. If you're not in shoulder stand and you're not in another inversion, just take child's pose. If you're in shoulder stand, start to let your feet fall behind your head, coming into plow pose. When if your feet touch, you can release your hands down the mat, interlace them. Good, send breath to that lower back. This is such a beautiful, yummy way to end the practice. From plow pose, bend your knees to either side of your head. Give your ears a little squeeze here. Let your calves hang heavy, your shins hang heavy. One more breath here, Karnapadasana. And then release your hands down the mat as you straighten your legs, slowly rolling all the way down, back onto the mat. Take it nice and slow. Keep your belly, your lower back kind of glued to the mat, your belly button pulling down as you trace an imaginary arc with your big toes, pulling them forward and down. Beautiful. Walk your elbows down towards your hips, prop yourself up on your forearms, let your head fall back coming into fish pose. Matsyasana, open your heart. And just as we began, 3 times in through your nose and then let it all go through your mouth. In. Breathe it in, keep pressing down through the forearms. Exhale, let it go. Last time, fill up. As you exhale, tuck your chin in towards your chest, come all the way back down onto the mat. Taking any final poses that you need to complete your practice or coming straight to Shavasana. Settling in there. Letting everything go, right? Relax through the hips, relax through the ankles. Feel your shoulders really heavy into the earth.
Slowly start to feel your body coming back to life as you deepen your inhales and your exhales. Bringing small movements, wiggling your fingers and your toes. Back your head gently side to side. And take a deep inhale as you reach your arms up overhead, stretching your toes in the opposite direction. Really feeling your body fill up with all of this warmth and breath. And as you exhale, gather your knees in towards your chest, pausing to give yourself a hug. And with your eyes remaining gently closed, roll to either side. Return yourself to a seated position. Focusing inward for a few more moments. Right? Feeling and kind of appreciating that grounding that you feel through your sit bones. The length you feel through your spine. And then one last time, shrug it up, your shoulders up by your ears, roll them down, really spread the shoulders side to side, opening your collarbone, opening your heart, and just taking notice of all the changes that have happened in your body and your mind and your heart in the last hour. And being so thankful that we have this time together and for ourselves. We'll close our practice with Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Breathing in all together, filling up. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your hands together at heart center. Gently bow your chin in towards your heart. Taking this last few moments together and on your mat to thank yourself, honor yourself, and really celebrate yourself, knowing that everything that you need lies right within you. Bringing your prayer up to your third eye, sealing in this practice and this beautiful energy. We'll bow forward together. Namaste.